Hello everybody and welcome back to Imperator, where we don't actually have a civil war. This is fake. The risk of rebellion might be real though. I'm not entirely certain on that one. Let's proceed forward for the time being, and I want to check here. There's actually some slave estates to build. We'll build those. Apparently that updates this? Interesting. I didn't know that. That's fascinating. So we've got some new territories here that we, of course, need to do some fairly extensive city work in. So this is the first one up over here, Theatera. That is 1 of 11, and that is a court of law right now. It produces wood. Okay, we're getting rid of that court of law, and we are absolutely going to do something along the lines of this. Now, are we interested in putting in, like, there is some Christianity here. I'm going to put in a great temple. Okay, that'll be fine for now. And then we're going to have Alaya would be next. That is right out over here. So 2 out of 11 here. We've already got a great temple here. That seems fine. We can automatic trade as well. We should probably go through that here in a moment. I'll try to remember that. And we produce wine here, so that seems absolutely okay. Something along the lines of that should be fine. Next up would be Chios, which is in the same area for sure. We just conquered this area, so that's not surprising. This produces glass. Okay. I really don't feel like we need additional research locations. I really, really don't. So Assos would be the next location, which is right up over here. Cool. This is quite undeveloped. Get rid of the conscription camp. Producing olives? Sure, we can forge some more olives in the foundry. Sounds good. And next up would be Middle. I don't believe that's how that's pronounced, but that's what I'm going with. Okay, so we produce marble here. Again, that would be noble happiness, but I would rather export the marble. So that looks good for now. Next up would be Keim, which is down here. Okay, and you might ask, why am I doing this with the game paused? The answer is because we don't actually have that much aggressive expansion right now. So I will unpause the game shortly, but I want to get through these locations that have, like, no buildings in them first. Once we get down to these 2 building slot areas down here, that's definitely something that's a little less necessary. But I want to get all of these going right away. So we can get some mills going in here. You can automatically trade. That seems fine. Bit negative on food here, but that might not be the case later. We'll see what that feels like. So Ilion would be next, and that is right up over this way. We took a lot of cities. No doubt about that. Cloth? Okay, whatever. So it would be something like this. That'll do for now. And next would be Miletos, which is right down over here. Okay. So we're already producing earthenware here. That looks reasonably fine. Let's get that all taken care of. Looks good. And then next would be Antigonea Troas. Antigonea Troas. There we go. So right up over here. There's a lot of construction ongoing, of course. Producing pearls? Sure. We will absolutely get going on some production there. And then next up would be Adramitia. Okay, so that is right over here, not you. There we go. We've already got a grand theater here. That's fine. I'm not concerned about that. The court of laws, very unnecessary, though. Let's go with the rest of these. Perfect. And then we would do Separad, which is right over here. And the last location here, because the next location is actually Jerusalem. This is already set up fairly well to be a research city, although strange building choice to have the 6 libraries without building prerequisites first. Well, not really prerequisites, but multipliers first. Like, you want to get your base production up before you build the multipliers, right? That's very strange. I'm not sure why they chose to do it this way. We can have this be a research city. I'm going to take out 3 libraries here. We're going to put in 3 noble districts, 2 citizen districts, a court of law, 2 more libraries removed, and then 2 additional courts of law. So something along the lines of that. Okay, so next up would be Jerusalem. I mean, we know where that is, but this is probably quicker. So that seems fine. Here, we're definitely interested in building some aqueducts. I'm going to build 2 aqueducts and a library. So that'll be okay for the time being. Next up, we're interested in Naxos. So the game can be unpaused at this point. We're down to these 2 building slot locations. No, I don't want to recruit this mercenary. What do we got here? So this is... Okay, we don't need to do anything here. This is already a metropolis, so that looks good. Okay, next up is going to be Pergamon, which is up over here. This is actually a new location. No, it isn't. This was clearly set up by us previously. Okay, so we can do... This is noted. We'll get to that in a moment. We can do this. We are nowhere near our pop cap, so let's actually get 2 libraries going for now. Okay, what is this war? Is this something Gara's doing? Okay. So this is right up over here. This is territory that was controlled, I believe, by Siracine. So, yeah, this was controlled by Siracine previously. That seems fine. We're going to force march these lads right on up here. This is not going to be very difficult for us to take, but we're definitely interested in taking it. Okay, so that war is honestly over already. So let's go check out what the situation in Ephesus is looking like. So that's right down over here. This is a mess. Okay, let's get rid of the port. Let's get rid of the academy. The aqueducts, I think, are fine, actually. This is going to... This is not a capital. Never mind. The aqueducts are not fine. Let's get rid of those. The shrines are kind of okay. I'm fine with converting here. So that looks fine. I'll leave those for the moment. Let's get rid of the citizen district, get rid of the 2 noble districts, and we can put in some mills, slave traders, and taverns for now. Later on, we can come back through and eliminate the shrines and the Great Temple, but the shrines will definitely help us convert, so that is okay for the moment. Seems fine. Next up would be our Tallies, which is out over here. Okay, this should be absolutely fine. Yeah, we can compensate the owners here. We have so much money. We are net negative in our money right now, which is a good thing, by the way. We are very, very happy about that. I would love to run out of money. So next up is Teon, which is out over here. And keep in mind, we'll only be net negative in our money as long as we keep spending it actively this quickly. We're not net negative passively. So that is absolutely something to consider. So at this point, I want to go to Alexandria. I mean, everyone knows where Alexandria is, I hope. And we're going to get ourselves a pair of libraries here. Looks good. We just lost a researcher, our civic researcher. So I want to put this guy in. I was hoping we'd have somebody with traits, but unfortunately, no. So next up is Shenikin, and that is down here in Egypt. So we would definitely be interested in putting in a tax office. We're also approaching our pop cap, so I'm thinking an aqueduct is maybe not the worst of ideas. And then, of course, we've got Unit next, which is further down the Nile. And this is looking fine for the moment. We definitely don't need any additional population capacity. So that's looking okay. Next would be Dura, which is out over here. Okay, so this would definitely be a pair of tax offices. That'll eventually become a metropolis, but we're not ready for that yet. So we're sieging here. These guys don't need to still be force marching, and that will fall eventually. We'll see when that happens, but next up, we need Rusa Kanili, which is out over this direction. Okay, so that would be a pair of Freeman districts. No problem there. This guy just died. He was our governor in Cyrenaica, and we need a new one of those. That seems fine. Next up would be Har Hareb, which is right, this city. What we thought was going to be our holy city, but it wasn't. So that's absolutely okay. I want to put in a pair of tax offices there for now. Wonderful. Next would be Chrysaris, which is right up over this direction. Wonderful. Things are looking pretty okay here. Food is maybe a bit spicy, but we'll see how that goes. A pair of tax offices for now. We've already got a farmer's market here. I'm just wondering about the state of the farmers market in all of these locations. There is one in every city in this location, right? Is there one here? Yes, there is. This is a city. There is one there as well. Okay. Just wanted to double check that. We might need to import some food here eventually. Seems fine for now, and then we can go to Sinoria, which is out over here. Now, the awkward thing about this is we can't take this, I don't think. And maybe neither can Siracine. Although we might be able to take this because it might consider this being connected through Gera. I'm not sure. We'll see what our options are there. That'll be interesting. So next up, of course, is Sinoria, which was right out over here. And we're going to put in a pair of tax offices. More evangelism in our lands. Very rude. And then the next question is, what are we going to put in here? I mean, the answer to that's pretty obvious. It's going to be a pair of tax offices. Our siege out over here is over. These are auto-capping. That looks good. Let's call down Esther to assimilate 5 pops. And any actual colonizable territory? The answer is no. Okay, so the question is, can we take this for ourselves? That would be ideal if we could. They would become our tributary. That's an interesting offer. Yeah, we cannot take that ourselves. So they would become our tributary. I would actually want them to become our client state over the tributary. So that seems absolutely fine. They are now our client state. So that removes some territory from Siracine, which is, of course, a good thing. Okay, so I want to immediately come in here and start doing relation actions. I want to improve opinion with them. So that's going to boost our opinion pretty dramatically. We're their overlord, and that looks good. So eventually we're going to want to integrate them, right? But they're going to have to be, it's going to take 10 years. So who are these guys? Oh, that's these that we just took over, right? Okay, Siracine is at 125 right now. We could boost that by an additional 54. I want to do that. And when can we start actually integrating them? Let's see, that is under influence actions. In theory, we can start that now. We probably should. But I think we're going to need a fair amount of additional opinion with them. So we'll let this proceed for now. 22 November. Yeah, so they need to be at 190 opinion. That is expected. I would love to send them a gift. That'll boost it by 25. And that'll get us there a little more quickly. So there we go. We'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll come back to that here in a few minutes. So that seems fine. We can go to Eusperides right down over here. And in the meantime, of course, we can build a pair of Freeman districts. Sounds wonderful. Next up would be Farseer, and we can actually see the end of these 2 building slot locations. So that seems wonderful. Another rebellion against us. Okay, this is media. We actually expected this, and we will get to that in just a moment here. I'm just looking at our layout here. We need a pair of forums. Okay, so that seems fine. Media is right down over here, very conveniently located. I didn't actually necessarily intend for this army to be right here, but that's wonderful. Okay, so they took another province with them. That's fine. I'm really not concerned about that. That looks very, very under control. So we're force marching in here. We caught their force there. That's hilarious. And we're going to cap this with no problem. Okay, next up, we're going to do Hormurzad, which is right down over here. Marshall advances. No, hang on. We've got a lot of stuff going on right now. So Hormurzad is going to need a pair of taverns. This port is probably useful. We'll keep that around. We did get a new invention here, and we are working on our oratory advances. We are interested in getting noble envoys and career negotiators, so we can take approved familia for now. That's going to get us a bunch of nobles in Jerusalem. Seems good. And also giving us loyalty of characters +4, which is pretty good. And then we need Adventus, noble envoys, career negotiators, and that will further increase our integration speed of Gera. So that looks great. Of course, we have a decision we can do. Dates of Auglia. We will definitely enact that. Fantastic. And then we have some additional things going on here, right? We need to get media taken over. I'm hoping that Gera is just going to come up and get rid of these guys. Wow, a slave rebellion at the same time. Okay. I mean, we will not negotiate with slaves. So the slaves are here. Let's force march these guys on up to Ark. That'll be fine for now. And we could negotiate with revolting slaves, but, I mean, they're too revolting. We're not going to do that. So this will fall soon enough. We did lose our governor of Mesopotamia. The slaves crucified him, and we are going to put in this unnoticeable guy. I like it. So we're force marching our way up here. We'll get there fairly quickly. It looks like Gera has taken that and flipped that to us. Perfect. And they're going up over this way. No problem there. Okay, so they've got a significant numerical advantage on us, but they are entirely light infantry. And their morale is only 2.5. We can probably beat them with this 27k stack. If not, we can bring in more forces. It does not matter. So this all seems completely fine as of right now. Although I'm wondering where their army went. It's probably in, like, Larsa? Or something along those lines. Even then, I'm not sure we'd be able to see it. Okay, what do we want here? We'll go with benign autonomy. That'll be okay. So we're at 35% on this siege. That's looking solid. Hopefully it falls here, but it did not. Okay. So are they just sitting in Ark? No, where are they? Where could they possibly be? I have no idea where that slave rebellion is. Okay, that's exciting. We're going to need to head up over here and deal with these couple units from media. It's not going to be a big deal. So, unforce march these guys, and where did that slave army go? Maybe it got taken out by Gera? I don't think so. Well, let's just let this auto cap finish, and that'll give us what we need for media. So this is now under our control. Wonderful. There we go. That war is now over, and we're going to lose some aggressive expansion, I guess. And these guys can head back over, like, this direction for now. As far as this goes, I have no idea where those slaves went. So that's exciting. I guess we'll move our way back down over here for now. We could negotiate with the slaves, but we're not going to. I don't know where they are. They just kind of vanished. Somewhere around here. Maybe they somehow had boats and sailed off somewhere, but I didn't see that. They're just gone. Okay. Well, let's see what we've got going on here. Okay, so this is some of this territory that we just got back from media. They deleted a bunch of buildings, which is, you know, normal. It's not great, but it's normal. They deleted every single building here. Okay, so we'll get all of that going, and then Salamat would be next. So that is right out over here. Once again, this is going to be a production-focused location, so no problem there. We'll get that constructing. And then we've got Canopolis. So we're now in these 2 building slot locations. So this we would definitely put in a pair of Freeman districts for. Bekunik would be the next location out over here, and we're interested in putting in a pair of taverns there for sure. Next would be Komana Pantiki, which is right down over here. We just lost our Tribune. Understood. Apparently we didn't. We don't have an open office. Okay. Right, that's because that would have been a Tribune would have been a general. So that's fine. We can definitely figure out who that was. So we've got these guys out here. They're on road build. I want them to stop being on road build. And move somewhere where ideally they're not going to take attrition, like this. Okay, these guys are not drilling. They should be drilling. These guys are not drilling. They should be drilling. These guys are not drilling. They should be drilling. So that'll be fine. These guys should be drilling. Get drilling. These guys are drilling. Was it our Navy? I don't think so. We lost a... It said Tribune, didn't it? Not deployed Tribune. Pretty sure that's what we've got going on. He didn't have an actual job. He had a fake job. That's okay if he had a fake job. I don't mind that. So at this point, we're going to put in a Freeman District and a Slave Trader here. That will get that pretty well set up. And then we've got Dacer, which is out over here. Okay. So here we're going to need a Tavern and a Forum. That looks good. Next up would be Carmana. Okay, out over here. Looks excellent. So we would definitely put in a Tavern and a Forum here. No problem there. Then we would go with Sabzeverin. Literally right next to it. Beautiful. So 2 Freeman districts there. We got a minor addendum. We will definitely take some stability. Very nice. Next would be Thadge, which is out over this way. And I'm definitely interested at this time in beginning some sort of a process on this. So I do want to come back to Siracine as well, and I'd like to start integrating them, but they're not high enough yet. I want to make sure that we have a CB here. We do not. Okay, so let's begin fabricating a claim out over this way, and I'd like it to be on, like, Hyrcania. There we go. So we'll get that started. We're not going to declare that yet, but we definitely do want to have the ability to do that when we get close to 0 aggressive expansion. So Urayara is the next location that we need to work on. That's right down over here. Looks good. That would be a Tavern and a Forum. And then we would do Vatun next. So that is out over this direction. No, I don't want to build a fort there. There we go. We do, however, want to put in a Tavern and a Forum. So that'll be fine. Next up would be Akik. We are just about through these, so that looks good. We would put in a Freeman District here and a tax office. And then next would be Bargilia. Wonderful. Communion of the Way. We're going to slaughter them, of course. So that is absolutely fine. We'll build a mill and we'll build a Freeman District. We could definitely send someone to investigate this matter. That's a lot of money, but we have a lot of money, so it's all good. Next up would be Balajuk. Didn't we just work on Balajuk? I feel like we did, but apparently not. So this is a research city. A pair of libraries will do the trick. Next up would be Diosopolis Laiku, which is right here. Excellent. A mill would be very good here. And then I'm also noting we're negative in food. I'm going to put in a farmer's market. So that'll be fine. Sabata would be the next location. Right down over here. Okay, also negative in food here. So we're definitely interested in putting in a farmer's market there and then a tax office for the moment. This could also theoretically become a metropolis, and I'm going to go ahead and get that going. Okay, there we go. I was going to say I don't think that took, but then it did. So next would be Aragon. The game is frozen? Okay, there we go. Some sort of a peace deal going on there, I guess. So that's fine. We can put in a slave trader, and then I don't think we need these commercial districts anymore. Into the breach. Okay, that's fine. We're probably going to die, but that's fine. So I would be interested in putting in some taverns and a forum here for sure. So that looks good. Next, we would do Marat, which is right out over this direction. Beautiful. A pair of tax offices there will not go amiss. Next is Bum, right down over here. So that would be a Freeman District and a tax office. Wonderful. And then finally, Aram, which is, of course, out over here. So that is absolutely fine. I'm noting that we're pop capped. I'm going to put in a pair of aqueducts. This could be a metropolis candidate later on. So that'll be okay. It is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to go after these guys eventually. The question is, how much preparation do we really want to do before we can do that? They're going to have a lot that they throw at us, so that's certainly something to note. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Andy McGar, Dark Horse, Xenocyte, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.